Hey, 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 everybody. Helga Knight here, your Night Owl Gamer, coming in for the day stream. We're going to be picking up where we left off with our little mini stream this afternoon. Hopefully with me a little bit more alert. We're in the main story quest area in the Lady of Shadows. We just got into the palace, so no reason talking about it. Let's just jump in there and start doing it. Oh, something's off. My head's a-floating. What's going on here? You over here. Put down. There we go. What that's going on there? That's a little better. Weird. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, we haven't even entered in the building this time. We've done some light buffs on Nenio. Oh, sorry, Ember. Her side quest has wanted us to bring her here since we basically got here. Again, trying to do my best for better sound quality, so I've got the mic in a different spot. Please let me know if everyone can hear me okay if you're there. We would appreciate it. Any feedback is actually good feedback. That's not going to work. Damn it. Wow. Let's start off with a reload. Excellent. Right off the bat. As there's loading screens in between here, we definitely should save. Yeah, this just speaks of all the great massacres that the lady has committed. Like it when we talk to the guests. The succubus are all her scribes by the looks of it. Yeah, and that's saw that last time we were here briefly. That's a record of all the people that she's killed. Darkness and lust. Alright. Gotta get the lust in there. Got over here. Got stuff. More stuff. Alright, hidden stuff. We like that. Alright. Dinosaur bones are good. World mirror image is actually not bad either. They just haven't made them.
Am I not?
Those, not so much. I don't know how you paste it out, though. It's still free loot. You learn the hard way not to underestimate her guards. Unlike all the other guards in the city, these ones actually are fucking dangerous. Well, 38. Oh. What the hell? Where are we going? We had a... believe that. The next part of the lexicon. Try and compare the two words the lexicons have and grasp their hidden meaning. As soon as the commander's thoughts return to the lexicon's hidden meaning, the words begin to move faster before his eyes. The phonetic motion of the words bringing to mind a wasp's nest that has just been kicked. The words arrange themselves into sentences. The phrases begin to make sense. But it's a trap, a snare that will force the uninformed reader to set this book aside. The lexicon fights back against the commander's efforts, as if ensuing a challenge. Can Elgin unravel the secret knowledge enciphered within? Oh, shit. We don't get to... Oh, no. We don't have... I thought this is one of the skill tests that we don't get to use the team for. That's interesting. Because he'll never... read these last time. This is the guy talking about rare events. One chance at that. Interesting. I'm not sure, and again, because I don't have the spoilers, if that's how good or bad that is. We're gonna go with... load back even one more here. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one to do. We might be able to item up a bunch of nature world and stuff and trick it. But, yeah. I don't want to... If we only get one crack at it at that point in time, I don't want to use it all up right now. I'll collect the book and hold it till later. A couple of those midnight bolts, which I'm hoping are to be helpful in the final fight. There's nowhere else to go but this way now. I feel like that's... Oh, there was a... Yeah, when we decided to give up, we missed the one on the other side. Here we are.
Greetings.
It's her.
Greetings, Commander.
Sure.
Lady Arilu, allow me to express my deepest admiration of your work, and may I just ask that...
What are you doing here, Alua? And with sutured in tow.
The suture is my servant. I did not expect him to rush into the abyss after me, but I have allowed him to remain with me while I take care of some business. However, you asked what I am doing here. I bring answers. You have walked a long path, one where shadows constantly flicker at the edge of your vision, and questions multiply like flies above carrion. It is time for answers. At least, some of them.
It lifts her mirror and you fall into its cold, shimmering depths. How big we are.
D16, Aridus 4715. Experiment, transformation. Subject, let's skip that. Objective, to embed the essence of a Nehindrian crystal in the soul of the subject. Expected result, the essence will coalesce with the subject's soul, which will ready itself for total transformation, triggering the concomitant powers. The time has come to put my plan into action.
But I'm an angel. That was a cool spell effect, though.
You are my creation. Your power was my gift. Now you know.
Well, that explains the wound on our chest that keeps not healing. Let's say I believe you. Why did you need to do all this?
You are asking the right questions, but the time has not yet come.
Ah, such special memories. Remember the laboratory, do you? I told you back then. Go on, look around. See all the ones Lady Aurelia worked on. Here with us is definitely the place for you.
Brett grins in satisfaction. The unseen angel does not speak, but its silence seems to thunder in your ears.
Your power is of the same kind as that of Nulkineth, Jeribeth, and the other demons that you have met. The power of the Nehindrian crystal dissolved into the blood lies within your soul. I have already hinted at this to you once before, when I left the essence along with the lexicon of paradox in my old laboratory, and ordered the suture to make sure the gift found its way into your hands. But there is more. Do you remember when you were taken to Canobris with a wound that would not heal? Do you remember how Terendelev apparently healed you? That was merely an illusion. The dragon was only able to temporarily dull the pain. In fact, it was I who saved you, when I came to you in the caves and implanted a crystal within you. No, saved is not the right word. Your wound is still not healed. That is why your wound weeps blood from time to time, every drop of which burns your enemies.
To confirm her words, blood begins to seep from your wound on your chest. Eerie flames seem to dance with the crimson drops.
This is pure essence of Nehindrian crystal. My invention is far superior to the crystals used by Xanther, which were barely refined at all. It will give you new strength, and help you to overcome the wound that still slumbers within your soul. Take it.
Does not.
Take it, and you will see that this is the very power that has lived in you since the Battle of Canobris.
It's not going to work. You need to tell me everything
Very
first.
well, then. Ask your questions, and I will answer.
What is this wound in my soul? How dangerous is it?
It was my mistake. My failure. I failed to... The tale is too long to recount here. Your wound is a reflection of the world wound in a way. It is very dangerous, even if you do not yet realize it. It is not a disease, but rather an abscess, which will one day burst and kill you. It cannot fully be healed until the world wound is healed.
Okay.
No doubt you have felt this affliction on several occasions. It awakens when you use your power. It makes you sense more strongly what mortals call the corruption of the abyss. Until the world wound is healed, you will have no peace.
You followed me?
Like a witch in a fairy tale, I watched over you from birth. From before that, even. And I kept detailed notes. You were chosen and prepared for a special destiny. Aside from this, I helped you, even when you were unaware of my presence. I saved you and your unfortunate companions when you fell into the crevice in Canabris. In the Grey Garrison, it was I who distracted Minago to allow you to approach the Wardstone. And in Dresden, I appeared under the guise of Yoniel to guide you toward the Sword of Valor. And I also left you a present in my old laboratory, and told the Suture to see that you received it. I knew that sooner or later you would find your way there. That place exerts a powerful pull.
Turns out you helped me thwart the plans of your masters, Baphomet and Discard.
They are not my masters. They are a resource.
I basically expected her to say. Was the ploy, was the whole ploy with your lab, what was the whole ploy, why was that whole ploy with your lab necessary? You even sacrificed your servant, the Suture, for it.
You always have to sacrifice something. I wanted you to go to the laboratory to see with your own eyes what I had been doing and what I am capable of, so it would be easier for you to accept the truth. The laboratory is the place where I prepared your ascent. And the Suture was the only one who I could trust to execute my plan and explain everything. After all, he too once experienced rebirth at my hands. And that is why I was willing to risk his life.
Look at that. I actually provoked a reaction. That's the second time your expression has changed when I've mentioned the Suture. Now I know the architect of the world wound is capable of feeling remorse, if only when she sends her drenched million on a deadly mission.
I see I am not the only one making observations and drawing conclusions.
Ooh, pour some
You
juice.
are analyzing me. That is commendable.
Tell me about the crystals. Start from the beginning.
Nahindrian crystals are formed from the solidified blood of demon lords. Their properties are not well known, even among the inhabitants of the Abyss. And there are reasons for this. Acquiring the blood of a dead demon lord is very difficult. After a demon lord dies, their body is instantly absorbed into the Rift of Repose. Only the Lady in Shadow knows how to kill them in a way that allows her to preserve the bodies of her fellow lords and transform them into a solid state. That means that Nahindrian crystals cannot be obtained anywhere other than the Midnight Isle.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Or rather, it was impossible until recently, when I managed to experimentally obtain a crystal from the blood of a still living lord. You saw the result. A dagger made from Discare's freshly shed blood.
Yep, we have it on us.
Which I left for you in Canabris. As regards the use of the crystals, that is a discussion that would take time. A very long...
Hello? Nothing like a spam caller to ruin.
Someday I will finish my groundbreaking treatise on the transformation of Nahindrian crystals. although it is unlikely I will ever publish it.
Interesting. So you figured out how to use the crystal to imbue living creatures with power.
Not just any creatures. Demons. And half-demons. The soul must have a stable connection with the Abyss in order for it to receive the power of the crystal. Experiments involving tieflings and mongrels failed because the voice of the Abyss was not strong enough within them.
I am not a demon.
I wasn't a demon either when I started. But there are always ways to circumvent, or even to override the laws of the universe. I changed myself by knitting my soul together with the essence of the Abyss. And I changed you. Do you remember the fits of rage that began shortly after Discari's attack on Canabris? This is how the second half of your soul manifested itself. Not yet fully aware. Not yet awakened. It's a pity you did not choose to let your demonic nature take hold. The result would have been most impressive. All those arrogant crusaders, those knights with their eyes ablaze, those pious priests. They have installed at the head of their magnificent army a scion of the Abyss, the creation of the architect of the world wound, whom they so revile.
It's strange to see you here in Nocturla's palace. Do you really serve Discari or Baphomet?
Both. And neither. I have served both Discari and Baphomet, and not merely as the lowest in the pecking order. But I do not think you'll be surprised when I tell you that to me, both of these mighty lords are merely convenient temporary sources of power. And their time is almost at an end. But the Lady in Shadow is different. She is the preeminent ruler. Soon you will understand this for yourself.
My powers are different from Jerebreth and Nukleth and other
Yes,
demons.
because I taught Xanther and the other servants of Baphomet and Discari the earliest version of this transformation ritual. I spent decades perfecting it until I obtained the power that I gave to you. Power in its most purified form. Cleansed of the filth and chaos inherent within the original blood of the demon lords. Your power is as pure as thrice distilled water. But it resonates with other powerful sources of supernatural power, such as the Sword of Valor. And your power can change. You must have realized this already. You have shaped my gift into a form that you yourself have chosen.
Free will,
You are
bitch.
seeking answers, trying to understand the crux of the matter. That is good.
What I want to know is this. What do you want from me?
Patience. Before we continue, I want you to receive your power.
Touch the essence of power so familiar and clear throws you through you like a river. The power that coursed through you was so immense the wound in your chest closes up as if it
Now
never
you
exists.
know. You truly know.
Enough! Enough of this madness! I was blind. O Lady of Heaven, how blind I was. I saw holiness in the half-fiend's creation. But is it truly possible? Angelic light in a creature of darkness? Am I tricking myself into thinking that I have been deceived? Forgive me, champion. I must leave you. I must collect myself. Pray. Reflect. Find me in the Nexus.
I want to help you close the world wound.
Those words are cut off by a quiet laugh. Sitting on her throne that was just empty moments ago is none other than Noctula, ruler of the city and the Midnight Isles, a powerful demon lord and the only one they call Our Lady in Shadows. Her red lips curl into an ironic smile. Her large eyes observe you with keen interest.
You were about to say, we are going to close the world wound, weren't you, Arilu? I see no reason to continue deceiving this mortal. Now I am convinced that he is quite worthy of serving me. I will even reward him with a modicum of knowledge about the events in which he is about to take part.
You've been sitting on the throne listening to us this whole time?
Naturally. I am in the habit of observing my servants and guests while remaining unseen. Their private thoughts fly most eagerly from their lips when they believe themselves to be unwatched. And secrets exchanged in whispers are often invaluable.
Too many questions and I demand answers.
You are a guest here, mortal. A guest of the Lady in Shadow, the vanquisher of many a demon lord. I am the only one here who is entitled to demand answers. You may ask your questions when I allow you to do so. For now, remember your manners and greet me properly.
We're gonna take this, but yeah.
Do I truly frighten you so, mortal? That you must reach for your weapon? Don't be afraid. I won't hurt you. I have had my eye on you for a very long time. You see, it was at my behest that Lady Vorlesh imbued you with such incredible powers. But I was curious to see your worth as an individual, not as Lady Vorlesh's creation. Thus, I decided to postpone our meeting and see how you'd fare in Alashanira, and whether or not you could win respect and power among those not so easily impressed by outstanding magical abilities. Well, you've passed my test adequately by proving that your character and your will are stronger than the Nahindrian powers Lady Vorlesh has vested in you.
Interesting.
You are wise, my lady. However, only those who have never known or forgotten what it is like to be mortal can so easily dismiss the importance of power. To be someone whose life is fragile and can be cut short at any moment, like a candle snuffed out by a gust of wind.
It is a shame your angel has left you, mortal. I would have liked to talk to him. I don't expect I will get another chance, as that celestial buffoon's days are numbered.
Her tone is casual, but her eyes are intent, scrutinizing you. You were able to see the hand of the inheritor despite his enchantment.
The herald of that upstart goddess. Here.
Yes, although his defenses were quite intricate. A commendable precaution on his part, as word of the hand of the inheritor descending once more into the abyss reached the echo of Discari almost immediately. Mind you, vindictiveness and guile have always been among his best qualities.
Told he was being hid from everyone, but not you.
Perhaps you don't know everything about me yet, mortal. Perhaps you made the same mistake as many before you, and many who were more insightful and more powerful than you, by presuming to know what to expect from the Lady in Shadow.
Fair.
He is a strange creature, a bespoke creation, so to speak. Long before the world wound was opened, Discari, that little cricket, was seeking a way to have some fun on Galarian and assert his influence there. One day, he decided to gather a few strong mortal followers, fuse them together into one being, and pump that being full of his own power, in the belief that something worthwhile would come of it. That is how the Echo came to be.
Interesting.
To the great dismay of both the Echo and the Lord of Crickets, the Echo was greeted by Eredin, protector of humankind. Eredin gave the Echo such a thorough thrashing, the whole abyss thought him dead. And yet he was not. Cricket, the younger, is alive and well, though I cannot say the same for Eredin. But the Echo remembers his humiliation still. He hates anything and everything related to Eredin, especially his inheritor, Iomedae. Her heralds, her priests, her temples. He would hate Iomedae's pet pug, if she had one.
Why does the Echo prey on the
Envy,
hand?
humiliation, ego. The usual playthings of little boys from all planes and realities. The Echoes suffered more than one defeat. First at Eridan's hand, then under the onslaught of the forces of heaven. Those routes taught him to attack his enemies by stealth, boldly and often, killing and crippling anyone close to the light-bringing goddess. Now, it seems, he has decided the time has come. The Herald of Iomade himself is in the Abyss alone, without a retinue of lesser angels. He's an interesting little bird, that angel. Before he became the Herald of Iomade, he served Regathiel, the General of Vengeance. I've always found the fate of that Imperial Lord to be quite fascinating. Did you know that the father of the Upper Plains' top military leader was a devil from hell? Regathiel had to achieve many feats to redeem his unholy legacy in the eyes of the other Imperial Lords. But he did. A remarkable tale, is it not?
It is interesting. Conversation is interrupted by a concerned-looking succubus who silently approaches Noctilla and then begins feverishly whispering to her ear. Noctilla's expression turns hard and cold. She ponders a new development messenger, takes her eyes at you playfully. You recognize those green eyes, except they were awash with pain when you saw them last. Their owner bleeding out in the cavern's necklace. The succubus smiles silently and gives you a wink.
Another island, another loss. Enough! I warned them that I would not stand for the desolation of my realm. They have not heeded me, and they will regret it. Go to your sisters and tell them to prepare.
I know her.
You've already met Laulia, my talented assistant. I've heard she was very convincing at acting out her tragic death in the mines of the Nexus. As you can see, I've been watching you since your very first moments in the Abyss. And even a little earlier. I have prepared a beautiful intrigue that will topple many of your enemies and seal the world wound forever, ending the threat to Galarian. And you have the chance to become part of that intrigue.
Interesting. My companion Ember would like to speak with you.
Ember? So that's her then? Well, approach. I have heard you bleating your pathetic prayers at me. You have some nerve addressing me with such nonsense. Did you think I would simply repent? Renounce my status as a demon lord? Do you have any idea what I had to do to acquire it? Wait, what is this?
You're rolling down Ember's cheek. She sniffs noisily. She presses her maimed hands against her heart as she stares up into her fragile form shudders from weeping. Why have you brought this simpleton here? This is Ashur Shinra, not Neor-san. We don't give alms here.
I can't stand these noises. Do you think you're the first to try to move me with a display of tears? It only makes me angry. If you wish to speak, then wipe your nose and speak clearly.
I know what you had to do to others and to yourself. I'm so sorry. So sorry. If only I could ease your pain somehow. Calm your sorrows.
Say nothing.
So, where were we? My pain? My sorrows? What nonsense are you talking? Don't tell me you pity me.
I'm so sorry. You're the most miserable soul I've ever seen. I've seen people burned alive. People being devoured by monsters. People burying their children. They were in pain. So much pain. But I've never seen anyone in as much pain as you.
What is this sacred drivel? What do you even know of me, Nat?
I've seen your city. You were the one who built it. It is the way you wanted it to be. It holds all of your dreams, all of your heart, and everyone in this city is suffering. Everywhere, all the time, every minute. All who live here are hurting and scared. If these are its citizens, how miserable must its ruler feel?
And this is what you brought her to me for. You think this infantile sniveling is worthy of my attention?
Seen her wisdom of her. I've seen the truth of her wisdom more than once. Perhaps it would benefit you to listen to her as well.
As if I hadn't seen enough sanctimonious bores in my life. So, what do you suggest I do, preacher? Beg the good gods' forgiveness? Devote myself to serving a sword-swinging upstart, perchance? Or that old crone, the moon?
No. Gods can't help anyone. They're just like us mortals. Silly, frightened, clueless. You're almost a goddess yourself. You know better than anyone that no one can save you. No one except you.
Save me? From what exactly?
From yourself. From what you've done to yourself. From the city you've imprisoned yourself in. Listen! You are a queen, but you're the queen of pain and filth. Your realm is a realm of your own suffering. You're almost a goddess. You can do anything you want. So why won't you make yourself happy? You could become the Redeemer Queen.
Good voice acting.
Oh, the Redeemer Queen! That's new. Never in all my years have I heard anything like that. Whew. Well, child, enough joking. Get out of my sight. Or I'm afraid I might decide to keep you here forever. As my fool.
Do you think she took my words to heart?
Who knows?
Suppose you're right. We'll see what happens.
I told you to get out! I don't want to hear your squeaky voice again!
Really create me? Certainly had a hand in your present state of existence. Lady Verish designed the world into a magical phenomenon and of unfathomable power. To seal it required a key that was just as strong and unique. Simply put, we required a champion, and she chose you. Both your power and the wound on your chest were a result of her experiments. When she infused your soul with the essence of the abyss, of course you remember none of that. Everything was done in secret. Even the power granted you was purified to the extent that it was possible, so that you would not know or guess its source ahead of time. In trial after trial, we watched your will be tempted, and when the time came, we started fulfilling you with the energies of the Nahirian crystals. These energies are necessary for the task at hand. Everything that's happened to you is part of my intrigue. I was going to summon you here and reveal the truth when the time was right. Instead, you followed your queen's orders and arrived here early. One can only hope that you are prepared to accept the truth. Everything has its price. Your wound was, in essence, the flip side of all my experiments. There was a reason why we required a true champion, not merely a living tool who could fling into the flames of the whirlwind and close it like any lesser rift. I think you should know that. Don't be too hasty. We haven't burdened him with enough revelations for now. Give him time to become accustomed to the truth about himself, then you can share all the details. What exactly are you offering? I'm offering you a chance to become my weapon. Your enemies are a thorn in my side as well as yours. What's more, I have never schemed against Golarion, nor have my warriors taken part in the conquest on your plane, at least not at my behest. There is no cause for anonymity towards us. Why would you want to close the wound? When the world wound was open, I was pleased. My realm was now connected to another plane. I wanted to make it into the crossroads of worlds, a place where demons and devils and even angels could meet. The wound was a convenient path along which I could advance my ideas. But the Midnight Isles were not the only realm that had been linked to Golarion through the wound. Discari and Baphomet also now had a way from their realm into your plane. Their servants flooded my islands and spread out across them like a plague of locusts, killing guests that were under my protection, questioning my rule. They were driven by lust to conquer and enslave whatever was on Golarion and in my abysmal realms. I was forced to shift my focus, express my discontent. Eventually, atop the bones of our servants, we reached an accord. I would let their armies pass, and they would comply with my wishes while on my island. Of course, that accord is a polite fiction. Both the Discarets and the Baphomets are attempting to amass their power and influence in the city and overthrow me. When they think I'm not watching, they break my taboos and reveal their own impotence. And worst of all, Lady Varesh told me that the Nahiri crystals, they realized what kind of power the crystals hold, and now they are determined to mine every last deposit hidden within my islands. And once the island loses its crystals, it becomes nothing but flotsam, slowly sinking into the dark waters of Ishtar. With every lost island, my power is diminished. I could start a war and kill all the plunderers, but the major conflict would hinder some of my other plans. So instead, I will teach my neighbors a lesson by orchestrating an ignominious defeat at the hands of a mortal. How exactly do you plan to close the world wound? It is a complicated magical process. You will receive precise instructions once you've captured the Threshold Fortress on Galoran. There, at the exact spot where Lady Varesh opened the world wound, you will be able to close it. But first, you will have to crush the Guardians of the Threshold. Their forces are growing by the day. Hemfamira, as Baphomet's daughter, is mining a large number of Nahirian crystals in my realm. These crystals are her secret weapon. No army in Galoran can stand against them. You must stop Hemfamira. If you do not, your world will fall, and my plans will suffer significant harm. At one time, I disclosed the secret of transformation to two servants of Baphomet and Discari, Exafra Fang and Mustafan. It is a well-calculated gambit which bought us time and assured both Discari and Baphomet my loyalty. Mustafan is Hemfazir's favorite, and he oversees the transformation of her army. Hemfazir is currently on another island far from here. The route to the place is plagued by pirates, monsters, tempests, and other more terrifying dangers. Have you heard of the living bubbles of frozen time that swallow airships, and when the ships reach port, their crews discover they've been gone for 100 years? That is not the strangest occurrence that you could encounter on your journey. I'm willing to provide you with a decent ship and an experienced crew. If you kill Hemfazir, I will stop her sinking any more of my islands without giving Baphomet cause to declare war on me. So what do you think, Commander? Personally, I'd rather take my chances rowing to this another island far from here in a rusty bucket than make any deals with the Lady of Shadows. I'll steer. What do I do begin by serving you? It's a reasonable question. One must always serve one's interests. Well, rest assured that you will be adequately rewarded. I will give you gifts befitting your ambitions, and my patronage, which is certainly you can count on, will prove more valuable than any enchanted tricks you could dream up. If you're so powerful, why do you need me? If I were to make my move, it would start a war. Not that I'm afraid of doing so, but it would hamper my more important plans. Baphomet and Discari could never best me, but they could sow enough chaos and spill enough blood that visitors from other planes would shudder at my mention. Shudder at the mention of my city. No, I will wage war on my own terms, in the shadows, and I will remain unseen until I drive the blade into my enemy's back. And since Galfrey happened to send you to my realm, you have the honor of becoming my blade, mortal. Be glad you're wielded by a skillful hand. We should also reveal how exactly our blade will be employed. We can discuss that details later when the moment is right. Now is not the time for idle discussion. Why is it so important to kill her? Discari and Baphomet just won't stand there and watch you close the world wound. Yeah, okay. I will consider your offer. And accept it, I'm sure. I respect your caution and won't force you into submission. We all stand to gain from doing my bidding of our own volition. An interesting destiny lies before you, mortal. You will rise to great heights and play a part in events of titanic proportions. Many would give their life for a chance to tread such a path. Hemfazira visits the city every now and again, but her true lair is far from here. She hides on the city of Kolber to the northwest of my archipelago. There lies a secret fortress in the deep mines. Her slaves dig Nahirian crystals for the invading army she plans to bring to Galorian. I will give you a magnificent ship and an experienced crew to take you there. It'll be a long, perilous journey. Take some time to prepare. I wish to inform you of treason. Is that so? Who is it you decided to inform on? And more importantly, how did you learn these traitors and how credible is this? Ooh, let's see what happens here. A friend of mine, Miss Storytale, appeared in the future. A hint of dangerous... You are a fount of knowledge, my dear guest. Let's just say I'm not surprised by her appetites, the ambition of that brat, or her lecherous goat of a sire. We're bound to surface sooner or later, but your warning will encourage me to keep a closer eye on her. You could have gone to Hepazir with this and received payment for your silence. Your foresight must not go unrewarded. We got secret ingredient, whatever that is. Shamar's reaching crystals. Perhaps she's planning on How nice of you to warn me. I'm impressed. I did wonder, however, did you really think I was unaware of this? Or did you merely want to demonstrate your loyalty? Either way, I appreciate you telling me. I will take this as proof I can rely on you. If you were very astute to uncover her desires to dethrone me, it was particularly sensible of you to keep your mouth shut about the secrets in the hearing crystals. Suppose caution calls for a reward. Finding hearing crystals is a surefire way to sink the island. Crystals are on the bottom of the star. I assume that you understand why all who are attempting to procure them were executed. At least you didn't tell Shamir about the mines you found. The last thing I need is the ardent dream burrowing underneath my capital. So why do you still tolerate her? Someone has to deal with trivial matters. Shirith's betrayal was assured the moment I made her my favorite, just like as Zephyrin's before her. The second always dreams of rising to be the first. I know the feeling well. I said everything I wanted to say. Killed Wolderish, your court mage. I'm aware of this, of course. It is lamentable in a way, since he fears, since his fear of me was strong enough to make him impeccably loyal. However, his death is but a single move in a much larger game. In games like this, losing a few pawns is unavoidable. There's a passage that leads to the Echo. I want to go there. Ah, so Cricket's avatar has gnawed his way into my realm, has he? I can guess where he is. I received reports about unusual discarded activity in the slums of the lower city. It won't be easy to break into the Echo's portal, but as a sign of my affection towards you, I'll have my servants do it. Keep in mind, however, that such tampering is very difficult to conceal. When the portal is breached, the Echo will know. I want to ask about other powerful denizens. Are you interested in one of my servants, or do you wish to tell me something about your enemies? What's your relationship with Lura? She works for me, isn't that obvious? Lady Varesh is very talented. She may be the most brilliant, capable mind ever to come to from your plane, and the guile she used to betray one demon lord master after another has impressed me so much that I offered her a position as my advisor on matters of magic. Naturally, the esteemed Lord Goat and Lord Locust don't know a thing about the betrayal of their faithful lackey, Lady Varesh, and I plan to keep that a secret a while longer. Betrayal is such a strong word. I opened the path to glory for those two, and I told them how to extract the power from the crystals. That will suffice. Doesn't bother you that Hero serves another master? I'm not prone to jealousy. Let Takari think Varesh serves him still. His bug brain seems incapable of sensing betrayal. As for Baphomet, he, like any talented liar, is most vulnerable when he's trying to deceive someone else. He was so pleased to have fooled Daskari that he became blind to the treachery that was happening right underneath his snout. In truth, Lady Varesh's loyalty is mine alone. Loyalty is for fools. Shared interest. That is what rationalized minds rely upon. That and fear, and no one in their right mind would oppose the Lady in Shadows. How does she become your servant? When the world wound was first opened, it only led to Daskari's realm, but then there was another more powerful breach. The wound expanded, and its paths now pass through my realm and Baphomet's as well. Before long, all sorts of interlopers had heard about the power contained within the crystals here, and the Midnight Isles were soon overrun with agents of my new neighbors. They flouted my embargo, burrowing greedily into rocks and stealing my crystals. The main culprit was one Allura Varesh. She was the one who discovered the energies of the crystals, and I had captured her and was about to carry out an agonizing execution when Lady Varesh offered me something I desired even more than her death. She entered my service, and the main task since then has been to close the world room. Once it is sealed, my realm will once again be cut off from those of Baphomet and Daskari, and the slaves will no longer be able to infiltrate my islands with such ease. Do you remember an elven archmage used to serve you about 1,000 years ago? He's still alive. We know each other. Really? Well, he was past his youth back then. Now, just how old is he? Can mortals even live that long? Well, apart from your mortal Aslantian, say hello to him for me on behalf of Lady of Shadows, and tell him that the one who replaced him has disappointed me immensely with his incompetence. No matter how hard he tried, he could never live up to the magnificent elf. You know, you've managed to surprise me, a rare occurrence for someone who knows just about everything. With a bad horizon who sends a piercing gaze, one that feels like it's delving into the deepest corners of your soul. Jesus. Are they allies? Nope. Everything's clear to me now. And I will pick this up. I have to do some work stuff, but we'll be right back. So hopefully you guys are here when we return.